Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in Windsor. The Gordie Howe International Bridge will not open this week. It was scheduled for tomorrow, but as Michelle Molesky reports, there is still no confirmation on when traffic will actually start flowing.
Sandwich Brewing Company wanted a new beer to commemorate the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge.
We were expecting it to open, sooner. And so we actually, when the beer was finished, we called it Over It.
Owner Nicole Sakella says it's a play on words. Yes, folks in Windsor are ready to drive, bike, or walk across the Gordie, but also
we're so over it and, just waiting.
Just days after sending out invites, the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority canceled the Friday ribbon-cutting ceremony. In a statement, interim CEO Chuck Anderry says Canada and the U.S. have agreed to delay the opening of the bridge, taking the necessary time to resolve any outstanding issues. The statement goes on to thank the workers on both sides for their efforts to get the structure ready, but it doesn't say when traffic will roll across.
Nothing surprises me with Donald Trump.
And speaking on AM 800's The Kyle Horner Show hours after the latest delay, Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkens had a message for Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Because of Trump's tariffs war, trade is down. The Ambassador Bridge is handling the current traffic fine at this particular point in time, and it's just a matter of time before this bridge opens. But don't go on bent knee to Donald Trump over this issue.
A disappointment, says Councillor Fred Francis, noting opening now could have been perfect timing.
With the World Cup taking place today and happening for the next month, and one of the venues being Toronto and cross-border traffic between Canada and the United States, I think it's a vital point to have that bridge open as soon as we can.
Back at Sandwich Brewing, Sakella is once burned, twice shy about opening day excitement.
We just had this anticipation over and over again, and now, you know what, it has to be open for us to believe it now, I think.
Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
Toronto police say one of their officers was fatally shot while executing a search warrant this morning. This is the second Ontario police officer killed in the line of duty this week. With more, here's Beth McDonnell.
43-year-old Constable Mark Pinizzato was a husband, father to 14-year-old twins, and a Toronto police officer for 18 years. Today, while executing a search warrant, the specially trained member of the emergency task force was shot and killed.
Our teams met with Mark's family at the hospital to confirm this devastating news, and they are grieving a profound loss. Words cannot describe the pain they are feeling.
I happen to know the mom very well for 20 plus years. Their grief is shared across this entire city.
The shooting happened around 5:40 in the morning at a residential tower near Black Creek Drive and Trethui Drive. There was an exchange of gunfire. The Special Investigations Unit says Pinizzato entered a fourth-floor unit when a suspect fired the first shot.
A man discharged his firearm at an officer, resulting in the officer being struck. A second officer returned fire, and the man was struck multiple times.
A 19-year-old suspect is in custody, sent to hospital in critical condition. Police say Pinizzato was rushed to Sunnybrook, but despite heroic efforts, did not survive. The tower where Pinizzato was shot is the same building where last summer 8-year-old Javai Roy was hit by a stray bullet and killed. In this case, many woke up to the sound of sirens and saw tactical officers with guns. Police have been guarding the lobby and the unit where shots were fired.
I was terrified. I was so scared because I'm looking out the window. I'm like, oh my gosh, not again.
And then when I went to drop my daughter off at the school bus, I seen all the blood and stuff in the lobby.
From Sunnybrook, Pinizzato's body was carried in a procession to the coroner's office. The grief and sadness of this day overwhelming for his fellow officers. This police salute a show of solidarity. Described as a dream recruit, they have now lost one of their own in the line of duty. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
An agricultural symposium was held in Thorndale today aimed at maximizing the farming economy in our region. With more on the main concerns, here's Jerry Dewan.
Community leaders, food system partners, and agricultural stakeholders from across Middlesex County gathered to tackle some of the most pressing issues facing the food supply.
There is no untangling the circular economy. It's all going to connect around again.
Justine Daynard is Smart Cities project manager for Wellington County. She gave the featured address at the symposium. Smart Cities has spearheaded a number of initiatives to address food affordability, agricultural sustainability, and environmental resilience.
We're looking at the whole food system and trying to make sure that we're learning how to live in a climate-friendly way and not leave anyone behind.
Middlesex County's Director of Human Services, Joe Windsor, says rural communities have increasingly been impacted by food insecurity, with a growing number of people seeking some form of assistance.
For 6,000 people who have access to services within Middlesex County alone, which is a huge number for our smaller communities.
The start of a new growing season is all about potential yields, potential revenues, and for those taking part in the symposium, the potential to help as many people as possible. Retired poultry and crop farmer Diane McComb says it's critical to look for efficiencies at every stage of the food chain.
What we look at as waste is not necessarily an unvaluable product. It could be valuable somewhere else in our food chain.
Thames Centre Deputy Mayor Michelle Smybert says farmers and farm communities need to be supported.
They're the ones that do it day in and day out, and they likely know what's best kind of moving forward in terms of trying to address some of the challenges with food insecurity and also protecting prime ag land.
The symposium was hosted by the Middlesex London Food Policy Council, an organization dedicated to identifying food system challenges and supporting policy change through collaboration. Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
Provincial police say they're investigating a serious crash near Ingersoll. They posted these images from the scene this morning, saying the crash involved a transport truck and a pickup on Culloden Line. According to police, the person driving the pickup pulled directly in front of a transport carrying a load of metal. They say that caused the transport to roll over while the other vehicle ended up in the ditch. Police say the person driving the pickup truck has serious injuries, but will recover. The transport driver has minor injuries. London police responded to a two-vehicle collision in the area of Warncliffe Road South and Euclid earlier this evening. Police say one of the vehicles struck a house. They say the occupants of the vehicle were transported to hospital with minor injuries, and the occupant of the house was not injured. The investigation remains ongoing. Local researchers say a new medical imaging scanner could help them detect diseases earlier, improving diagnostics and better understand workplace injuries. As Rita Ismail reports, it's the first technology of its kind in Canada.
This is the future of medical imaging. Canada's first Siemens Biograph 1 PET MRI scanner, and it's now operational at Lawson Research Institute of St. Joseph's Healthcare in London. The $8 million piece of technology combines two powerful imaging tools into one, allowing researchers an unprecedented look inside the human body.
Biograph 1 is a very exciting piece of technology in the sense that it increases the sensitivity of the PET system and the MRI system, brings in all of the new technology that has been developed in the last 15 years or so in MR and PET, all in one machine.
The scanner allows researchers to see not only the structure of organs and tissues, but also what's happening inside the body's cells in real time. Scientists say the technology could help identify diseases earlier, and researchers are also exploring its potential to improve understanding of mental health conditions such as depression and bipolar disorder.
These diseases are difficult to differentiate early on. Most people that present to medical attention with depressed symptoms get treated with antidepressants. And so it means that a large number of people with bipolar disorder get the wrong diagnosis, get the wrong medication. And so the diagnosis itself is important, but even more important is the type of medication that you'll respond to.
The technology was made possible through a $65 million investment from the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, helping launch Lawson's Workplace Injury Research Network.
WSIB receives over 238,000 claims every year from people who are injured or ill as a result of the workplace. And our role and our mission is to support them and reduce the devastation that causes by these injuries injuries and illnesses. So having investments such as today really helps us to understand and to evolve science so that we can treat, prevent, diagnose those injuries more effectively and get people back to work.
Researchers say the scanner will support studies into chronic pain, occupational stress injuries, and neurological diseases, with the hope of improving treatment and recovery outcomes for workers across Ontario. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Crown lawyers presented digital forensic evidence today at a murder trial in St. Thomas. They argue it shows a link between a 22-year-old woman and the 53-year-old man accused of killing her. Nick Pacbarella reports.
Earlier in the trial, dozens of disturbing images showing the badly beaten body of 22-year-old Caitlin Jennings were shown by the Crown. Her body was discovered by London police inside this home at 562 Kingsway Avenue in West London on July 5th of 2023. But on this day, Detective Constable Stephen Robertson testified about photos taken of the accused, 53-year-old David Yates, minutes after his arrest. The Crown claims that after Caitlin died, Yates attempted suicide and drove himself to the hospital. The officer said several photos show he's wearing a hospital bracelet. A photo of his left hand shows gauze wrapped around the wrist. In other photos, he says, on Mr. Yates' left foot, there's significant injuries. There is sutures and blood. Once in custody, Yates, who was Caitlin's one-time boyfriend, is charged with second-degree murder. He has pled not guilty. Later in the day, there was digital forensic evidence from a laptop and cell phone seized from Yates. When she got a hold of Yates' iPhone 13 Pro Max, Kim Seward, a digital forensic officer, started downloading information. In and around the time of the killing, she said the iPhone user was searching something pertaining to suicide. She added there was a search on Safari by the device user showing different arteries of the body. From an image captured on a Google Nest in the living room, you see both the victim and the accused on July 2nd, the day before the Crown believes she was killed. With the Crown's case drawing to a close, the defense is expected to start with its evidence next week. In St. Thomas, Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Councillor Elizabeth Pelosa is providing another update in her cancer battle, reflecting on the importance of National Blood Donor Week. On tonight's episode of Healing in the Public Eye, she shares her experience of going from blood donor to recipient.
This morning, my doctor asked if I had ever received a blood transfusion, as I needed to receive one as my hemoglobin levels were low. I've been honored to have been a 54 times over Canadian Blood Services donor. This is my first transfusion. So humbly, thank you to those who donate.
I was hospitalized with pneumonia and already having really no immune system due to chemotherapy. The doctors came in and with a bag of blood product and said, you know, have you had a transfusion before? And that was a first. I'm used to giving the gift of life, but never having received it.
This week is National Blood Donor Week. Canadian Blood Services needs to welcome over 1 million new donors by 2030. And the reason for that is the need for blood is increasing by 10%, as well as plasma by 50%.
When summer vacation comes, we're out of town, we're prioritizing things differently, and the donations drop. And the demand stays the same, so it's really important to schedule those appointments.
It's actually a little bit moving, having the counselor here right now. It's sometimes it feels like you're just kind of donating what's going into a bottle, but it's very nice to know it is going to help real people.
I miss it. It's an opportunity I can't take, and it's going to be years until I can take that again. So a really public call of all those donations I would be doing weekly. I need people to step up and help fill my seat and the seats of those who actually want to donate but can't.
A new play is about to make its world premiere in Blythe, kicking off the community's Summer Theatre Festival. For more on the show and its connection to local and Canadian history, here's Scott Miller.
In 1978, 80 women working at a Huron County automotive wiring factory changed Canadian labor law forever.
I didn't know about this, and I consider myself a feminist. I know that our playwright, Kristen De Silva, she didn't know about it, and when she discovered it, Her first thing was she immediately started looking up going, where's the play about this? Where's the movie? And there wasn't one.
Is that true?
Now there is. The Sisters of 78, a dramatization based on the strike at Fleck Manufacturing in Centralia, is now in previews at the Blythe Festival Theatre. The 5-month-long strike, based on horrific working conditions, low wages, and workplace harassment, involved heavy-handed police intervention and government meddling to try and break the all-female work crew. But they persevere, securing the first-ever sexual harassment clause in the Canadian Labour Agreement and bringing women's workplace rights to the forefront of every labour negotiation from that point forward.
The fact that so many people sat up and paid attention, and this small group of women, like what they did, what they accomplished across the country moving forward, and the impact they made, it can't be underestimated.
For those recreating the female strikers' perilous journey against all odds, it has been a harsh reminder of the conditions women dealt with less than 50 years ago.
When you tell people that in the year before this play, 1977, that was the first year women could have a credit card in their own name, that blows my mind. Like, I take so many of these rights for granted, and I take the fact that I can walk in the world as an equal person for granted.
The world premiere of Sisters of 78 has its official opening Friday night in Blythe.
Just seeing a moment when women changed history, I think is really inspiring for me, because there are lots of things happening in the world that sometimes make me feel powerless. And it's been really inspiring to work with these characters, work with Kristen De Silva's beautiful text, and also be in the room with these powerful women.
In Blythe, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Oxford OPP say they're investigating more pride flag thefts in Norwich Township. Police say between June 5th and 8th, flags were stolen from multiple locations, including private residence and a church. Those cases are in addition to a pride flag stolen from Emily Stowe Public School, and they're asking anyone with useful information to contact them. Coming up, how an 86-year-old Vancouver man is tackling Mother Nature's Stairmaster. Canada's main stock index was up on strength in the energy and base metal sectors. In Toronto, the TSX gained 520, while in New York, the Dow added 930, and the Nasdaq is up 640. The Canadian dollar fell 1/3 cent today, and on commodity markets, gold lost more than $19 an ounce, and oil dropped $2.32 a barrel. Back to cross-border travel, a warning tonight for anyone applying for a Nexus card. The process starts online, but as CTV's Pat Foran reports, one wrong click could cost you hundreds of dollars.
If you're a frequent traveler to the U.S., a Nexus card can help you bypass long lineups at the airport and crossing the border. Pauline Saunders of Angus decided she wanted to get a Nexus card to save time while traveling. She went online to start the process.
I knew I wanted this pass, and then I saw an advertisement on Google, so I hit it.
A company said it could help her apply for a Nexus card, and she agreed to pay their fee of almost $600 US. But months later, she had still not received a Nexus card, and she was told an additional payment of $120 US was required.
I didn't want to pay another $120 because what else are they going to take from me?
Saunders used the services of a third-party company called Nexus Pass Online, Inc. A spokesperson told CTV News, Nexus Pass Online is a private application assistance service. Our value is saving time, reducing mistakes, so the process is clear and stress-free. This fee covers document review and readiness for submission. It does not include the government's filing fee. The company said it needed Saunders to pay the additional $120 US to finish the application, which she declined.
It's just not okay. I'm so angry and upset about it.
The Canada Border Services Agency says using a third party will not speed up the process and could even cause delays or denials in getting a Nexus card. A spokesperson said, you do not need a third party to complete your Nexus application. The fee for a 5-year Nexus membership is $120 US. You can go directly to the Government of Canada's website to apply, renew, or replace a Nexus card. Saunders says she's frustrated after paying more than $800 Canadian that she'll have to start the process all over again. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Quebec has become the first province in Canada to regulate the sale of energy drinks, banning the products for anyone under 16.
A younger person is going to be more sensitive to the effects of caffeine. And you add on top of that some kids are also taking medications for ADHD. The combination of stimulants with caffeine can prove fatal.
The decision comes after a 15-year-old died in 2024 after drinking Red Bull while on ADHD medication. Under the new rules, sellers will have to ask for photo ID when selling the high-caffeine energy drinks.
Good evening. We have the chance for showers and thunderstorms overnight, but by tomorrow morning, we're back into just a bit of cloud cover first thing. We have a cold front coming through and the winds will be shifting westward and picking up quite breezy through the day on Friday, and we'll break back into a mix of sun and cloud, but overcast to start the day. Thanks, Maria, for this photo of Zita. If you are heading out for a walk in the morning, just expect cloudy conditions. The weekend will feature some sunshine and the chance for showers on Sunday. I'll have your local forecast coming up right after the break.
Julie is here now with a detailed look at your weather. Julie?
Thanks very much, Lauren. It was once again a hot one across the area. Sauna-like outside through the afternoon with the humidex feeling into the mid to upper 30s. The cold front's coming in tonight, and that's going to cool us off as we head into tomorrow. 28 degrees our high today. 22 degrees our low. It's our low temperature that's well above normal. So a normal overnight low coming in at around 12. So our overnight low is closer to our normal daytime high. We had some showers and thunderstorms early in the day today, especially through Middlesex, Elgin County, and Oxford. That moved eastward towards Toronto and then a lull. But we held on to the cloud cover in London, which helped keep the brakes just a bit on the temperature, but we quickly climbed as soon as that sun came out through the late afternoon into the evening. I mentioned the chance for showers and thunderstorms overnight, all in advance of a cold front that will be pushing through our area. Watch on the forecast model impacting Windsor, Essex, and Chatham-Kent, Sarnia by anywhere between midnight and 2 a.m. And then you can see by 3 a.m. we do have the chance for some rainfall in London, but it looks like the bulk of this will start to fall apart. Last night, I don't know if you follow day to day, but I was showing you this front coming in, and wow, it really was packing a punch. Tonight's forecast model is showing it to be a bit weaker in terms of this front coming through, but what it will do is it'll scour out all that humidity, and we will start to see comfortable conditions develop by tomorrow afternoon. Now, it's still going to be hot tomorrow, and you'll still have a bit of humidity, but it'll feel closer to 30, not closer to 40. So that's the change. This time of year, when you get a fresh air mass like that, it's a nice change, especially at night, because our night temperatures have been extremely warm. Going out 24 hours, so we start tomorrow morning with some cloud cover, Lauren, and then we'll be into a mix of sun and cloud. Saturday looks fantastic. Lots of sunshine. It's going to be a banner day. The next chance for rain coming as we head into Sunday. So temperatures dipping a bit tonight between 18 and 19 degrees. Winds picking up heading into your Friday. So starting again, I mentioned the cloud cover, but gusty out of the west, 20 gusting to 40, and Midwestern Ontario. So areas like Grey Bruce and Northern Huron and Perth County, you could see your wind gusts hit 50 kilometers per hour. Saturday sun. On Sunday, another cold front will come in, although the probability for showers just a 40% chance. The high dipping down to 24 degrees. Monday looks like a lovely day. Sunshine, low humidity, and nice and comfortable, 23 with that front on Sunday. Mainly cloudy on Tuesday at 21 degrees and 21 on Wednesday. Now, in terms of measurable rainfall, some of our area did pick up some significant rain with some of these thunderstorms that have moved through. However, other areas haven't seen any rain at all and no measurable moisture. So that means it's been extremely dry. So again, across southern Ontario from county to county, I know that varies quite significantly. So hoping for a little bit of rainfall for those areas as we head into Sunday. So cooling off tomorrow, especially near the shoreline of Lake Huron. That wind coming in out of the west, and then lots of sunshine on Saturday. Showers rolling in on a Sunday, and then back to full sunshine on Monday. Back to you.
Thanks, Julie. A new fire hall opened up today in southeast London. That was the official grand opening at Fire Station 15 at the corner of Hamilton and Old Victoria Road. It was commissioned to celebrate London's bicentennial at a cost of $7 million, staffed with 5 firefighters.
Definitely needed, and we strive to be very proactive, watch the trends of where neighborhoods are filling in, where industry is coming into London, to ensure that we have fire halls in areas to make our response within the time frame that we want to be able to respond.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
Finally tonight, an 86-year-old great-grandfather tackled the grueling grouse grind earlier this week, an intense 2.9-kilometer hike located in North Vancouver. But that's not the only way he's proving age is just a number. Here's CTV's Michelle Brunaro.
With a whole group there to support him, Langley's Gary Rombo starts up the grouse grind.
I'm feeling very good.
But even as the weather deteriorates and the trail gets tougher, he keeps going. Last year, he set his sights on the mountain challenge and did the trail for the first time ever. But he wanted to beat his time.
Oh, I don't quit. I don't quit.
Climbing more than 850 meters over 2.5 kilometers, he finished the hike in 2 hours and 20 minutes, shaving 18 minutes off last year.
Remarkable when I think about it, but I had lots of people pulling and pushing.
His granddaughter was one of them.
Truly an inspiration, you know, mind over matter. You're only as young as you feel, right? And he keeps me young.
Whether it's on the mountain or in the gym.
We'll start with marching.
Gary keeps challenging himself, recently getting certified as a group fitness instructor.
I'm not the best student, but I persevere.
And I saw Gary at the same class as me. I was like super happy, and I just think of myself like that age is just a number, and yeah, he is really inspiration. Yeah.
Gary credits his trainer with getting him to where he is.
There's a few people I know that are in wheelchairs or need a walker or whatever, and I just don't want to go there. So I started training.
Training so he can keep doing the things he loves. Michelle Brunoro, CTV News, Vancouver.
That's our time tonight. Before we go, a programming note. We will have live FIFA coverage tomorrow night on CTV News, and you can join us as soon as the last game has wrapped up. Meantime, you can stay up to date on all our top stories at ctvnewslondon.ca. I'll see you again tomorrow at 6. Thanks for joining. Good night.